Last time on Street Fighter, defeat. And we're back, folks. So this is Acid Roots, and get ready for part 3 of Let's Play Street Fighter Alpha 3. So, yeah, Charlie was kind of being an ass clown last time at the end of that, and we're going to finish him off and get these last couple fights knocked out, but you may be surprised as to the results. So, but I find myself to be a decent Ryu fighter in Street Fighter, but sometimes when they start hammering out the tricks, it gets a little bit difficult to deal with. So, Ryu is not the go-to fighter like he was in Street Fighter 2 and all those variations of the game. And now there's actually characters who can counter his attacks and grapple with him and just plain whip his ass if it calls for it. It's actually kind of funny, the Sagat character that we fought last time. I mean, he really is specifically crafted to give Ryu a hard time, which is kind of a pain in the ass, but that's just the way it is. In some cases, I mean, they never talk about Sagat and Ken's relationship, but it's kind of the same thing over there. So, yeah, a little bit of dialogue. Now, unfortunately, the storyline for this is not really well conceived. And so I don't know. I mean, honestly, the only two characters that you really have, or there's three. You have 3 dialogue trees, one with Rose, one with Ken, and then the next fight after this, which is M. Bison. I think you briefly talked with him, but I don't know what's going on. That's like the whole thing. I'm glad that they at least did something rather than just have you fight the whole way through, but I kind of would have liked a little bit of extra dialogue so you know what's happening. I mean, apparently there's something wrong with Ken, and it kind of implicates that Ryu is going around trying to become the strongest fighter, but with Ken, you know, who's always been jealous of Ryu, apparently he's kind of pissed off with his progress. That's the only thing I can really amount to think. So, and then of course Bison just wants to control Ryu. He doesn't want to kill him, he actually wants to use him for like his evil ways. He runs like a criminal organization. He wants him specifically. He tried to do that with Akuma, I think, but there's just no way. Akuma is actually tougher than Ryu, or M. Bison, so. Look at that. I mean, look at how simple. This is not, for a low difficulty, I should not be struggling this much with this guy. This is kind of like, what the F, man. Ken, man. You must have had a lot of pent-up rage and shit. I just don't know where that crap comes from. It's a random burp, but... yeah, so... I just don't like it. You're proving yourself to be an ass clown. Kind of makes me wonder what Ken does in his free time. I mean, he is a martial artist, but you never just like see him. Like, you wonder if he's like good at football, and I mean American football, or you know whether or not he likes video games or what the hell. I mean, it does indicate that he has a girlfriend, but he's one of the few characters that does. Well, actually, no, Dalsum and Guile do, but. There just needs to be more backdrop kind of thing. Even the Street Fighter comics is just very brief and to the point. I don't know what's up with Street Fighter. I would like to invest in it, but I'm kind of waiting for like the heralded praise that comes of this. Everything just kind of gets off to the side, and then it's just that little niche, that little corner of the room, that little section. I kind of miss like the widespread appeal that Street Fighter had like back in the early 90s. Even though I wasn't really there for that, I still appreciate the after effects of it. I mean, this was one of the games as to why the PlayStation kicked so much ass. Because of games like Street Fighter and Final Fantasy and Metal Gear Solid and some of those. So, This is one of the best games for PS1, far and away. I mean, it's a little... I'm glad that there's at least dialogue, but I do feel like it probably could have pushed a little bit further. Like, I would give this game like an 8.5 or a 9 rather than a 10. Just because there needed to be more things like dramatic battle. But they did actually continue to chip away at this and add like deluxe versions. Like, I don't know if they came out for the PS2 or what they did, but they did try to do more with the Street Fighter Alpha for a while. But you have to essentially get the collections. So, but now that those are like 15, 17 years old, it's really not that big a deal. But this makes me wonder how many people are jamming out to Street Fighter tournaments right now. I wonder how COVID has impacted like Street Fighter and Smash Brothers tournaments, Tekken and shit like that. That's where the money is. You know, these people are like spoiled because it's like, nah, I can't even play Street Fighter today. You know, I've got to have like pancakes for breakfast. I've got to have an IHOP breakfast. Have to have a special kind of burger with just the right amount of mayonnaise and bacon imported from fucking Beijing. That's what I want. But, you would think something of that magnitude, but some of those guys are cool cats, though, I would suppose. I tried. You may, if you can find the video, there's a video on my blog channel, Acidic Roots, where Cobalt and I went to a Smash Brothers tournament, got our asses handed to us. Like, I didn't win a single match, and Cobalt didn't do too much better. He might have killed, like, one of their characters, like, once, but he said he didn't do that well either. I mean, those people, and those were probably just lackadaisical Smash Brothers players, but the guy that I fought, the first guy that I fought, I said he was good at the game, and he was like, oh, no, not really. You know, it was kind of like a passive-aggressive insult, and I was like, yeah, I mean, I used to be really good at the game, but just that sort of shit, it was kind of like hell. But yeah, I just never went back after that. I mean, Cobalt went to a few other Smash Brothers tournaments, but for the most part, you really have to adhere to the resume of trying to do the said game. So and Bison's like, I probably could have eventually beaten him if I would have kept fighting, but you'll see what happens here. He just keeps being an ass clown. I'm barely hurting him. So that's why I like dramatic battle better, is because at least his cheapness, I can sit there and get a few hits in. And he teleports now. That's a new trick that he learned. Yeah, he knows. You gotta keep in mind that this is on a low difficulty setting, so I'm just kind of like, the fact that you have to beat this guy twice, I mean, it should just be once, but I'm just like, there's just, I don't know if I fight him again after this. Yeah, I was just like, fuck it. So there you have it. I at least attempted to fight M. Bison. I was like, yep, in this playthrough, M. Bison rules the world. So, that's what it is, folks. Alright, subscribe for more fun. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful night. And maybe there'll be more stuff to come from this sort of thing.